Hello everyone, I welcome you all to this lesson. Today I am going to discuss on the topic We Are the Music Maker, and the poet is Arthur William Edgar O. Shaughnessy. So here I begin, and before that let me ask you, have you subscribed to my channel? If you have not subscribed up till now, then please do and watch the video till end and press the like button if you have liked it, and I'm sure you are going to like it because these question answers will be very helpful for you in your exam. So children, let us start with the question and answers. In this video I am discussing 10 questions for which I'll be giving you answers, and 10 questions I'll be giving you as a practice questions so that you will write it down yourself and see where you are. So now let us start with the question and answers of We Are the Music Maker. So my first question is, can the poem We Are the Music Makers be classified as a traditional ode? Give reason. So now children, what is ode? Ode is a type of poem that exalts the subject matter and is serious in nature. The theme of an ode is never treated as trivial. Considering these points, the poem We Are the Music Maker is an ode. It deals with the theme very seriously. In the poem, O. Shaughnessy praises the creative people of the world, the artist, poet, musicians, etc. The poem marks a celebration of the past and impact of the creative people in our daily lives. The poet concerns with the notion that poets and artists do not participate in the real world. They do not lead revolutions, battles, and largely remain outside the action. This is so because the creative soul always looks for beauty and harmony, hence can be found in secluded places close to the nature. The poet gives a description of a romantic artist who appreciates the beauty of nature and prefers to stay away from the mundane routine of life. Like the romantic poets, he speaks the creativity of artists as a divine ability. He believes in the productive quality of the fantasies and dreams of the artists, for they support a greater purpose. The poet says that it is their imagination which inspires generations. They do not follow any particular norm and tend to stand apart, thus being the rebels. So the poem gives a clear picture of the poet's opinions. He talks about the abilities of the artist very seriously. Thus it is only apt to say that the poem We Are the Music Makers is a traditional ode. Now I come towards question number 2. And the question is, comment on the theme of the poem We Are the Music Makers. Or children, you can also get this question as, do you agree with O. Shaughnessy's that the artists of the world are the movers and shakers of the world? Discuss. So answer for this question is, the poem We Are the Music Makers by O. Shaughnessy is a tribute to all the artists around the world. The main theme of the poem is the transformative power of art in all forms and the greatness of the artists. The poem accentuates the role of the artists in the world. The social reforms that the works of the artist bring to the society make their presence vital for all the human beings. The artists dream that their dreams shape our reality as they affect our minds and thoughts. An artist is someone who is more than a mortal. He is the creator of art. An artist creates music that suits us, paintings that entice us, sculptures that move us, stories that amaze us. The poet has defended the artist and disagreed with the view that artists are escapists. The creation of artists subdue the harness of reality and makes one appreciate the beauty of life. The artists are the creators in their own terms and their creations are eternal. The divinity that they create through their work is supreme. The poet says that though the artists wander by love, sea, and oceans, they do so to find inspirations and not merely to escape. The artists play a powerful role of being the movers and shakers who challenge the realms of the society through their art. Their power surfaces when their art rebels against the norms set by the society. Their work contrasts their escapist nature from the revolutionary one. The poet says that the artists have inspired and beautified mankind with their eternal creations. He believes that through their powerful creations or deathless deities, the artists have inspired people to build the world's greatest cities. They have adorned the empire's glory and their fanciful, fabulous stories. Now I come towards question number 3. I hope children you can understand these question and answers. So listen carefully. Question number 3 is, why does the poet think being an artist is difficult? So the answer is, the poet describes how the life of an artist is difficult. The phrase world losers and world forsakers implies the difficulty of sustaining a life on art alone. Unlike artists in the Romantic era who could hypothetically find a pattern of their work or who might manage to scrap within an inheritance such as John Keats, or who rely on good fortune and a staggering amount of wealth such as Lord Byron, many contemporary artists in the present age find it difficult to survive. Here, the poet wants to make it clear that to be an artist requires sacrifice, and very often that sacrifice is to live external to society. It is almost necessary to be external to human error and strive to see the beauty in human nature. Despite the fact that most artists are beyond the reach of society, the poet wants to make it clear that in no way does it mean that they are forgotten or easily replaced. Artists have a role to fulfill in the world, and that is to be movers and shakers of the world. Here, movers and shakers implies rebellion. It implies a changing of the status quo. Art, for the most part, has been outside of what was considered the norm. Now I move towards question number 4, and the question is, artists have the ability to make the society move ahead and further. Explain. So the answer to this question is, in the poem We Are the Music Makers, the poet highly praises the efforts and contributions of artists throughout all realms. The poet goes into detail about the boon of artistry and what artists have done for the society. He states the majesty and greatness of what artists managed to do. With wonderful deathless ditties, we built up the world's great cities, and out of the fabulous stories, we fashion an empire's glory. Thus, the poem celebrates something that is innate to creation, fantasy, and the wielding of stories to push society forward. Above all, this poem makes it clear that artists have been the cause of society moving forward. It almost seems to imply that the artists of the modern world are to be considered as the leaders of that world, for it is myth, story, fantasy, and legend that survives after all civilizations has been eaten up by tragedy. The lasting effort of art outlives in most societies. It is this, therefore, that must be celebrated and enjoyed. The poet places great emphasis on the fact that art is man's greatest achievement because nothing else created by man has lasted as long as art. So, the artist, the true faces of society, help people think about the progress and betterment of society. It is artists themselves who first raised questions about the shortcomings of society. These questions become the seed for a revolution. So now I move towards question number 5. How is the power of the music makers brought out in We Are the Music Makers? This question, children, it had come in the year 2020. So the answer to this question is the poem We Are the Music Makers by O. Shaughnessy is a tribute to all the artists around the world. The main theme of the poem is transformative power of art in all forms and the greatness of the artists. The poem accentuates the role of the artists in the world. The social reforms that the works of the artists bring to the society makes their presence vital for all the human beings. The artists dream and their dreams shape our reality as they affect our minds and thoughts. An artist is someone who is more than a mortal, he is the creator of art. An artist creates music that suits us, paintings that entice us, sculptures that move us, stories that amaze us. The poet has defended the artist and disagreed with the view that artists are escapists. The creation of artists subdued the harness of the society, of reality, and makes one appreciate the beauty of life. The artists are the creators in their own terms, and their creations are eternal. The divinity that they create through their work is supreme. The poet says that though the artists wander by a lone sea and oceans, they do so to find inspirations and do not merely escape. The artists play a powerful role of being the movers and shakers who challenge the realms of society through their art. Their power surfaces when the art rebels against the norms set by the society. Their work contrasts the escapist nature from the revolutionary one. So the poet says that the artists have inspired and beautified mankind with their internal creations. He believes that through their powerful creations or deathless deities of artists have inspired people to build the world's greatest cities. They have adorned the empire's glory and their fanciful, fabulous stories. So children, now I move towards question number 6. And the question is, explain how diversity as the theme of the poem makes it different. Relate your answer to the poem. And the answer is, the theme of We Are the Music Maker is diversity. There are certain similarities in every music maker to entertain the world. The poet in the poem tells how similar yet different can the entertainers be. However, their motive is the same, which is to bring joy to the world. but the methods of doing so are very different. Every music maker thinks and dreams to succeed. The thought process is similar amongst all the music makers, but the thoughts are different. All the entertainers have left the world inflicted with the competition and have turned to something relaxing and satisfying. There is diversity in the process and achievement of every music maker, for they work in different fields with different methods and people. The music makers are highly capable, able to achieve any milestone no matter how far it is. The music makers rule time. They live in separate times and create diversity in every time period. They have constantly affected the past, the present, and the future. The music maker create and teach the world how to use what's created. Throughout the poem, O. Shaughnessy has described diversity in the music makers by addressing the similarities amongst them. The similarities among all the music makers are a few. The music makers and the dreamers of dreams strive to make the world a better place and achieve greatness. Deep inside the similarities lay their diverse thoughts and contributions to the world, which has been able to entertain people. The poet has proved his point of the music makers to be diverse with this poem. He addresses himself as a music maker and hopes that his readers also are capable of making music to someone in their life. His poem is different from the rest because he explains his views by bringing similarities together. Now I move towards question number 7. Who are the music makers? How are they different from the common folk working in cities and towns? So the answer to this question is, the music makers claim themselves to be the dreamers of dreams and considers that they live in the world of imagination amongst their dreams, which they turn reality to entertain their guests. The music makers live a lonely life, unlike the working people who live in huge cities and are surrounded by people and work. They do not live in one place and keep wandering for neither are they nor are their ideas and imaginations and static. They wander in the loneliest place, which are not ventured by the people working in the towns and cities. They can be found in places that reflect the mood of their music. This is what impacts their creativity and the type of music they gift to the working class. They have given up on competing and move with the flow of life, creating art and music, each so beautiful, which can be achieved only by the lonely music makers who have forsaken their city lives to experience the beauty of the world and appreciate the world of dreams. The music makers are an inspiration for workers because they think and create on a different line. To all the workers, creativity plays an important role at some stage of work. Living and staying on with static and plain ideas do not help their projects. The music makers, in a way, are an inspiration for workers to gather ideas from the environment and create new and innovative products by linking and modifying old ideas. So the music makers, with their fascinating music like art, are capable of building and breaking anything as long as they include it in their world. They are the decision maker of dreams and lead the group of workers to witness peaceful dreams. One could say that the music makers are capable of making prophecies with the help of their music, which they create with inspiration and without much effort. People may consider them to be losers because they opted out of the race of life. But in reality, the music makers have decided to opt out of the race, which is nothing less than a chase to pursue their dreams of changing and ruling the world by creating music like art and entertaining their tired audience. So, children, now my next question is question number 8. And this question says, give the critical appreciation of the poem We Are the Music Makers by O. Shaughnessy. Also comment on its form and structure. So the answer to this question is the ode, popularly known as by its first line We Are the Music Maker, is the first poem in the collection Music and Moonlight 1874 by Arthur William Edgar O'Shaughnessy. This ode is a treatise to artists across different realms. It uses various euphemisms like music makers, dreamers of dreams, movers and shakers to implore the artist and serenade their achievement. The poem is alluded to a range of artist expressions, including orchestra, feature films, life of an artist, the beauty of their artwork, and their impact on the surroundings and on the world outside. Although the original version has 9 stanzas in all, it is believed to be only 3 stanzas long due to the abridgment in Palgrave's collection. The poem is an ode written to praise and glorify the artists who have the caliber to create eternal creations. The poet has used few literary devices in the poem. For instance, movers and shakers is used for creative artists who challenge the status quo and brought about the required changes in the society. The poet has used alliterations in the lyrics and repeated a few consonant sounds to create a flow in the poem, hence enhancing the musical effort. For instance, we are the music makers and we are the dreamers of dreams with wonderful deathless deities. Most of the lines start with either a conjunction or a preposition to give the poem a forwarding impetus. The use of imagery by the poet has created a lyrical emotions to the artist's way of living and their existence. For instance, wandering by love sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams, the pale moon gleams. So yes, children, in the answer to these questions, if you quote the lines, you will be scoring very good marks. So children, try to learn few good ones, good lines, and you can write them in your answers. So now I move towards question number 9. Question number 9. Discuss why the poet has given a special place to the music maker in human lives. And the answer to this question is the music makers in our society are given a special place as their contribution is essential for beautiful living. First of all, art is for life's sake. It is a powerful medium for social change, having great transformative power. The ode hails the creative artists of the world as dreamers of dreams, although they are commonly thought of the world losers and world forsakers. They give up all comforts of the world as they give shape to their dreams. These movers and shakers inspire men of action who change mindset and propel the society forward. One man with a dream at pleasure shall go forth and conquer a crown, and three with a new song's measure can tamper a kingdom's town. Such is the power, is their power. The poet further implies all artists who are associated with creativity, dreaming, and beauty should be praised. They include poets, musicians, painters, sculptors, and all creative minds. They all remain outside the world of reality, but their dreams shape our reality. In other words, dreams and fantasies of artists are not meaningless. The divine creation of these leaders of the world outlive all civilizations. When the poet claims, with wonderful deathless deities, we build up the world's great cities, and out of a fabulous story, we fashion an empire glory. It is not a vain boast, because they fill us with us innovative thoughts and things that we dreamed not before. So children, these artists, they give lot of motivation to we people. Like if you sing, if you hear some song, don't you feel motivated? So they are the music makers. They make us happy for the sake, and they by so much of sacrifice they make in their life and try to build the world, try to beautify the world. So children, now I move towards question number 10, and the question is, how is the power of music maker brought out in We Are the Music Makers? So this question tells you that what is the power of music makers. So the answer is the poem We Are the Music Makers by Shaughnessy is a tribute to all the artists around the world. The main theme of the poem is the transformative power of art in all forms and the greatness of the artist. The poem accentuates the role of artists in the world, the social reforms that the works of the artist bring to the society, make their presence vital for all the human beings. Artists dream, and their dreams shape our reality as they affect our minds and thoughts. An artist is someone who is more than a mortal. He is the creator of art. An artist creates music that suits us, paintings that entice us, sculptures that move us, and stories that amaze us. The poet has defended the artist and disagreed with the view that the artists are escapists. The creations of artists subdue the harshness of reality and make one appreciate the beauty of life. The artists are the creators, and their creations are eternal. The divinity that they create through their work is supreme. The poet says that though the artists wonder why the lone sea and ocean, they do so to find inspirations and not merely to escape. The artists play a powerful role of being the movers and shakers who challenge the realms of society through their art. Their power surfaces when their art rebels against the norms set by society. Their work contrasts their escapist nature with the revolutionary one. The poet says that the artists have inspired and beautified mankind with their internal creations. He believes that through their powerful creations or deathless deities, the artists have inspired people to build the world's greatest cities. They have adorned their empire's glory with their fanciful and fabulous stories. So, their creation is a mode of motivation for all of us. So, children, these were the 10 questions which I have given you with their answers. Now, another 10 questions I'll be giving you as your practice questions. These questions you will see and you're going to write down the answers so that it becomes a practice for you to write fluently in your examination. So, my 11th question is, music makers are change makers. How is this conveyed in the poem We Are the Music Makers? My next question is question number 12. Give critical appreciation of the poem We Are the Music Makers by O. Shaughnessy. Also comment on its form and structure. Question number 13. Explain how diversity as the theme of the poem We Are the Music Maker makes it different. Question number 14. Who are the music makers? How are they different from the common folk working in cities and towns? Question number 15. Artists have the ability to make the society move ahead. Explain with reference to the We Are the Music Makers. Question number 16. Referring closely to the poem We Are the Music Makers, refer to any two examples given by the poet which identify poets and singers as movers and shakers. Question number 17. Comment on the theme of the poem We Are the Music Makers. Question number 18. Who are the world losers and world forsakers? What do you understand by these phrases? Question number 19. How did the music makers build Nineveh and Babel? Question number 20, and this is my last question. What did each age signify according to the music makers? So children, these were 10 solved questions and 10 practice questions for you all so that you can understand the lesson very well and answer these questions and you will be coming out with flying colors. So do share, like, comment and subscribe my channel, and I hope this lesson will be beneficial for you in your studies. Thank you.